happen for.
Welcome, everybody, to our Random Wednesday edition of the Streakers Island Podcast. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed still needs a haircut analyst, but I figure I'll show
Hat, Jacob, hat.
I'm going to show up the luscious locks. Of course, we have Dan Moore, Mr. Moore for your money, Mr. Fedora,
Woo!
Mr. Lexus Shirt, Mr. Steal Your Wheel Bearing. And we got Chazzy, the CEO, and of course, the one, the only Lane Dashing Dashco.
Welcome back, Lane.
Welcome back, boys. And just so you guys know, if you want a haircut, Great Clips has a sale right now, $12 haircuts for the next, up until May 12th or something. All you got to do is go on their website. $12 haircuts, just go on their website, man.
We're advertising for Hair Quips, advertising for Lexus, advertising for Timmy's. You want to get on here, folks.
There you go.
Wowzers is all I got to say to that. Because you know what, Lane? I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to go get myself a haircut. We're going to record Streakers Island Podcast.
I need a straw for my coffee.
Yeah, look it up. You just got to go on their website.
Straw for your coffee, bro. Very bad idea.
I can even send you the link to it, but there's a little link. You just fill out your email. They give you a code. You go to Great Clips, $10 haircut, and you're good to go.
You cannot complain on that, man. That's just bomb diggity. I could see Dan is literally listening to himself talk.
We got another view now because I'm listening.
He is very self-absorbed.
I'll mute myself.
The Facebook comments do come straight on. So anyone who's watching wants to comment on Facebook, we can hit this button. There's the QR code to our podcast, and you can comment, and your comments will go live on the air. It's an exciting thing that we do. Dan says hi, everyone, because he can't say hi with his mouth.
Hi.
Oh, damn millennials. But
More, he's just excited for tonight's game.
I'm pumped, whoa. I'm pumped.
Dan sent me a rivalry where he's like, you got to take the Panthers. I'm like, I'm just going to reject that rivalry and send you a most wins challenge thingamajig to see who can get the most wins.
What's to be a rivalry with the Panthers, bud?
I am so confident in myself that I won't force you to pick something. I know I'll be right, and I know I'll get more wins than you because I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst.
Ouch.
Because Chazzy, as we see on our leaderboard, who's in first in the sports booth?
Which channel?
Our sports booth. Who's doing the best?
Yeah. You are.
Who's
Yes.
doing the best out of the three of us?
Yes.
Well, when I sold cars, I used to watch hockey all day.
Oh, go yourself a $12 haircut.
If I had a haircut.
All right, boys. I want to quickly say to this here. Who here is worried about Joseph Woll starting in net tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Dan, you're not worried?
No, I've made fun of him the whole year, but I think he's going to have a big game tonight. I really do, because if he still wants to be on the Maple Leafs, he has to have a big game tonight.
I'm not that worried about Joseph Woll being the starter, and I will tell you why. I feel there are a lot of other teams who would be quite happy to have a guy like Joseph Woll as their starting netminder.
Like Edmonton?
I mean, say what you want. Calvin Pickard's 5-0.
True.
He's 5-0, but no, Joseph Woll, even the game the other night, people are like, oh, he didn't play that great. Blah, 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 blah. Did we win?
Yeah.
Who won?
99.
We also won because Joseph Woll at times made some key saves. I look at a couple of Florida's power plays that they didn't score. When Woll came in early, faced 4 or 5 shots in the first about 6 minutes, and he looked sharp. Yeah, one of the goals he let in, he probably should have had. But overall, considering he was only in for a period and a half, faced 20 shots, and played good enough. That's all I can ask for from my goaltender. Play good enough. The Grant Fuhr effect, which is interesting enough. I've been hearing so many people comparing Calvin Pickard to that now in Edmonton, which I've been
interesting
for months. They just need good enough goaltending. But I'm not that worried. But Lane, you're worried. Pourquoi?
It just hasn't played in a while. You like Stolarz was kind of rocking the net there for a while. Joseph Wall, he's up and down, right? Like start of the year, he was kind of 1A, 1B. Then Stolarz took the net. Then Stolarz had his injury. Then Joseph Wall came in and was like, whoa, look at Joseph Wall. He might be the starter. Then he kind of ran the net for a bit. And then Stolarz kind of got his momentum back. And then Wall kind of went down. And he's kind of like a roller coaster. I just feel like you don't know what time you're getting on, what the weather's going to be like. Is it going to get stuck at the top this time? Yeah, there's so many questions with him. And I do think he's a good goalie. He came in the Boston series, was a great goalie. He got hurt.
Back then.
But again, I just feel like there's just some sort of a little bit of an unpredictability factor. And again, we haven't seen him since March. And towards the end of where he was playing, he was kind of on the roller coaster where we were stuck at the top there.
Yeah.
Mind you, funny enough, on our pre-recorded show, we went over Joseph Woll's starts in his last 5 games. All of them had pretty good numbers.
That's true. They did.
So
they're so far between each other.
You are right, though, with Joseph Woll. It's kind of like, I'm sure you guys remember Frederik Andersen.
Yeah.
Who was very up and down. And I mean, he's even been up and down in these playoffs. He has the best save percentage out of every goal in the playoffs. He's also the only one, I think, to score on himself. So, like, it's a weird situation. But I feel for Toronto, it can't be an excuse. They can't think about this too much either. They just got to go out there and play their game. Because let's be honest, I do feel Toronto, I'm going to say it right now, I feel Toronto is a deeper team than Florida. I think they have the depth that they should be able to do this.
Florida has a great team, but for losing guys like Aaron Ekblad, that's a big loss, bro.
Well, he's back tonight, so.
Oh no, I didn't think he was back tonight. I thought he wasn't back till Wednesday.
No, I'm pretty sure I'll check Glenn, but I'm pretty sure he's back because I thought he was only spending the first game.
Today is Wednesday.
But I think you're right, Lane, now that I'm saying it out loud. But it was interesting. Did you guys see Brandon Hagel's comments about Aaron Ekblad?
No.
So when he injured Hagel, when he punched him in the face and he got suspended, that's where a punch in the head is a suspension, not when you're a Toronto Maple Leaf. But I digress. You know how Sam Bennett did reach out to Stolarz and was like, hey, my bad, yo, kind of thing. Crickets from Aaron Ekblad. And that's what Brandon Hagel was not overly pleased about. And he's like, look, if you were mad at me and you wanted to fight, I would have fought you even if I would have got my insert, but that's a swear word here, kicked. And Aaron Ekblad, I thought it was a cheap shot what he did, just punching him in the head during a body check instead of just doing what Hagel said, just fight me.
I have a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, that's right. So my question is, how do these NHL players get each other's phone numbers? Because I would love to text these players like random and say, hey, why did you suck? Oh, hey, great job, Matty Nice. Like, I don't where do they get their phone numbers?
That's why they created social media for you to do that. So they can filter that.
But no, I just thought the comments from Brandon Hagel were very interesting. And let's be honest here, though, the Panthers getting Aaron Ekblad back in their lineup does
very coach guy
on that defense, right? You saw a really good job the Oilers did taking advantage of no Pietrangelo in Game 1 against the Golden Knights. The Leafs did a good job in Game 1 versus the Panthers, taking advantage of no Aaron Ekblad, although he might be hiding in Dan Starnorm's coffee. But what it'll be interesting.
It's free, bro.
So Aaron Ekblad is going to be on the top defensive pairing with Gustafsson. I mean, Forsling. I don't know why I'm saying Gustafsson.
I don't know either.
Forsling. I just work here. But how big of an impact do you guys think Aaron Ekblad's going to make?
Well, it depends if he can stay in the playoffs. He's been like Abe Simpson from the playoffs. He came in right away and got suspended and came right back out. So we haven't really seen him in the playoffs.
Honestly, Lane makes a great point, though. We don't know if Aaron Ekblad will be a good player or continue to be an idiot.
We haven't even seen him here. He unfortunately did something unfortunate in the regular season, which costed him 2 games. He came back and got suspended right away for another 2 games. That's been his story. I don't think he's even played 1 full game yet.
So he played one, get suspended 2. At least he'll be in good shape for his one.
Now, I'm surprised to see that Seth Jones is still running the power play.
Well, Aaron Eckler's never a power play guy. He's more of a
on your
defensive.
second unit. I might have put him up on the first unit because I personally thought Florida's power play did not look sharp. I believe they were 0 for 5 in game 1.
Yeah. Well,
or maybe even bump a guy like Nate Schmidt, up to the top power play unit. He used to run the top power play back in his Winnipeg Jet days.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan. I'm boring you. Falling asleep over here, but I don't know. I think from what I looked on TML updates. Great Facebook page if you're a Leaf fan, by the way. And I did not see any changes besides Joseph Woe in net and Matt Murray as the backup tonight. I think Matt Murray being the backup makes a lot of sense.
The only change I noticed is they switched the line between third and fourth. So now that's technically fourth line with Lawton, Lorenz, and Yanko is now your third line. And your fourth line is Domi, Holberg, since Pacioretty's in second line, and Domi, Holberg, and McMahon. Which, unfortunately, McMahon hasn't been 100% in any playoffs, so I do agree with that switch.
Although I thought the Leafs' third line in game 1 was probably the best game they've played.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were not
bad.
It
actually looked really sharp.
But I don't look too much into how they put up the lineups because Brube's going to put whatever line he wants out anyways.
And he runs 4 lines.
So I don't really look at how they really put it, where they put the guys depending on the lines, because he's going to deploy them how he wants in the situations that he wants them. So, and I have full faith that he'll play whatever line he thinks can get the best advantage at that time.
And again, this is straight from TML updates. Again, I highly do recommend giving these guys a follow if you're a Leaf fan, or Craig, if you want to make fun of Leaf fans, because there's a lot of Leaf fans on there. So that's
want to do that.
But you've seen
Facebook drama, keyboard warrior. Let's go.
The Leafs lineup has not changed, right? You're still seeing Matty Nyes, Matthews, Marner, Pacioretty since he's been moved up to that second line. Now you will see Patches and McMahon get flipped around throughout the game sometimes.
Yeah.
And then McMahon, Domi, Holmberg, Lorentz, Lawton, Yarncroke. The big shock is for me as a Leaf fan is we haven't seen David Kemp in the playoffs yet. I understand why we haven't, because Scott Lawton, Steven Lorentz, and Kalle Yarncroke have really fit well together as that fourth line.
I feel bad, David Kemp. I've been a big fan of his since back in his Chicago days.
Good.
Yeah, he's always been a solid player, but
yeah.
But so, are you guys expecting a similar type game, or do you think this game's going to be tighter than game 1?
I think you'll get a much sharper Uncle Bobby in net for Florida.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Bobrovsky, funny enough, you can make the same comment, Lane, you made earlier about Joseph Woe. You never know what Bobrovsky you're getting in a game. He is the best goalie in the NHL, or as Jay Onright says, he's off the force. Like, you just never know what goalie you're getting.
He's off the case, Bobrovsky.
But I think Florida's going to come in here with a lot tighter check. I don't think Toronto's going to dominate the faceoff circle the way they did in game 1. It was really surprising that Florida's best faceoff guy was Barkov, only around 50%.
Yeah.
Lane's so surprised he just left. But
I think we'll see more shots. I think the Panthers will have more shots here. I think they're going to start. I don't know. Do you think put anything on Wall, see what happens?
I would, because he's been sitting for so long, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Woll's got the big advantage. He got to come in game 1. And yeah, he allowed 3 goals, but he got in there, he got some shots on him. So he was able to kind of get just kind of get comfortable again. Because the Leafs won 60% of the faceoffs in game 1. See, I think that's what's going to change.
Actually, Jacob and I were talking off camera, and I think it's an interesting topic. When Joseph Woe came in, Jacob had the point, said the backup goalie that comes in relief in an emergency situation, said he'd be able to have 2 or 3 minutes of a warm-up to face a couple shots, kind of like a pitcher does in baseball. Like Jacob made that comment, and I think it's a very good point. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to add on to that. They actually
That's like-
did.
Didn't they used to do that?
No, so here's the thing. Here's where everyone's getting confused. They did give the Leafs the option to do it. The Leafs actually declined it because they felt like they were on the power play and they didn't want to take away from the momentum of getting how the game was going. So they declined it because they said we're on the power play now. You know, if we take off a few minutes and give
Okay.
Florida 3 or 4 minutes to game plan while we're trying to give Wall the warm-ups. Well, he's not going to face – they looked at it as if, well, he's not going to face shots for 2 minutes anyways. So these warm-up shots won't really do anything if he's going to be standing in the net passing us the puck. So that's where a lot of people got this confused that, oh, they didn't give them the option. No, they gave them the option. They just said, no, let's just go up there. Let's get our power play goal. That was their mindset at the time. And that's what Berube had said after the game.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
Lynn. I didn't
know that.
from Berube. And, you know, I agree with our buddy here commenting Leafs, baby. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so. And we'll get into our picks in a bit later. But
Friend of the program, thanks for
Friend of the
watching
program.
and thanks for commenting. And all of you watching at home, you can comment anytime, ask questions, put us on the
Anytime.
fly
Okay.
live. Let's
I'm gonna
go.
say this quick. If you have a comment, you have to get it out at 4 a.m. Send it to Dan.
Dasko's a Nighthawk too. He'll be up.
Yeah, I'm done to them there too.
I kid. But we got a series prediction.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa!
More confident son of a gun.
Wow!
Wowzers.
Wow!
All right, does anyone here agree with Leafs in 4?
No.
Craig does, absolutely.
Well, I don't know. You get the momentum. Game 3 could go either way. You get tonight, you get the momentum. Game 3 is going to be the sort of dice on the craps table. If you steal that, maybe you do 4. But
Well, do what I would say to you. If you're not confident Leafs in 4, download the Streakers app and challenge us in a rivalry now. Get 10 people in a sports booth. Gain some points. Get some great prizes here. Let's go!
This is the only thing nice when I don't get my hair cut. I can
But great comment. I love it. I mean, I would love to see it happen after all 4 to be us in 5 last year. I mean, 2 years ago. It'd be awesome. We could sweep them. Get the brooms out, boys. That'd be great. So,
don't get Dan talking about brooms. But
boom!
I do think if the Leafs are going to get this sweep and even get a win tonight, the power play has to get better. 0 for 5 on the power play in game 1. Now, mind you, in the third period with their power play, they switched the look to run 4 forwards, 1 D. And I think you see that because Joseph Wool's in net and you were protecting a lead. And mind you, Morgan Riley, he has been playing phenomenal for the Leafs in these playoffs.
He has the franchise record now for goals. Oh, it's rare time. It's rare year.
Franchise
They
record
do look
for
good.
defenseman in goals, Dan. Not goals in playoffs, but yes.
What?
You said franchise record in goals, not playoff goals.
Well, in the playoffs by a defenseman, right? But same thing.
No, Morgan Riley has more goals than Matt Sundin.
No, not quite.
But I think that's where, and I will say, if Florida's going to get back in this series tonight, it's going to be off their special teams because they certainly won the special teams battle in game 1, going 1 for 3 on the power play and eliminating Toronto's power play and not really getting much going. Now, I think nothing going. I felt they had their chances, but it'll be interesting to see how this goes tonight. Craig, you've been kind of quiet. I feel you've just been soaking everything in. You're sitting there.
hey, I'm soaking it in. It's your guys' night.
You look very poised, though.
I would I'm going to say Panthers are going to take it tonight. I just think they're going to come out, run and gun, and maybe shoot from anywhere. And then also on the Jets, I know we're going to talk about it here shortly, but the Jets and Dallas. Which team on either side is going to carry that momentum over? So that's going to be another interesting game. So
that is crazy because they both came from behind victories, right? And the way Rantanen just took over that third period, that goal, okay, I know technically the puck bounced off the defense's skate, but you can argue that's the goal of the playoffs, right? But the Jets came back from behind with 1.6 seconds left and won in double overtime. And no one saw that one coming.
And look good in the overtime and still look good in this double overtime. So
Yeah, Jets, exactly. I agree. Jets are looking really good.
Now,
And
a lot of people have gone on and on. The Jets don't stand a chance in hell against the Dallas Stars. And I
I
wholeheartedly
think they do.
I think the Jets, it sounds dumb, but they were kind of like the Leafs of the West. They couldn't get over that hump. Well, guess what? They got over the hump now. So now let's see. It was kind of like when Washington kept losing to Pittsburgh. They finally beat Pittsburgh, and then they won their cup.
Won the cup, exactly.
You wonder with the Jets, they kept going out in the first round. They kept losing in the first round to teams they should beat. Well, now they did it. Yeah, it literally took them till 2 seconds left to tie the game and then to double overtime with Pionk playing over 2 periods worth of minutes. But he got it done. And I do agree, Jets Leafs Stanley Cup Finals. I would be a nervous Leaf fan. I mean, realistically, any team in the East should be nervous against any team against the West.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm going to call it here. Lane is commenting
Darwin, boy,
and talking
yeah.
at the same time.
Oh, whoa. I didn't think we could do that. That's cool.
Lane, why stars in 4? Use your words or your keyboard.
Either one. Oh, both.
There's one thing I forgot to look up. Who's got the home ice advantage tonight?
Winnipeg.
Oh, that might change my answer. I thought it was Dallas for a minute. That might change.
Winnipeg won the President's Trophy, don't forget. So we got home ice the whole time.
Didn't Washington win the President's Trophy?
No, Winnipeg.
Washington won the best in the East. Winnipeg is the best. They like DJ.
Oh,
Kyle.
really?
We the best. Listen.
For some reason, I
Lane,
thought
but
Dallas
why are
had
you
it.
so confident that the Stars can just steamroll this team?
I just think Connor Hellebuck. I still don't trust him, man. I just feel like, he's so rocky, and I feel like I know they faced a pretty good goalie in Binnington, but I just think Jake Ottinger is just on another level. They're getting back Mikko Heiskanen.
Yeah, that's a big one.
They're getting back Jason
Robertson's
Robertson.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, Robertson's Heiskanen's back. They got Rantanen, who's just going to be on a mission right now to just steamroll the playoffs and show both to Colorado that they made the mistake. I just think that he's got that in him. He's got the dog in him right now. He wants to prove that they should have never have traded him. He's got that aura right now. You got Otter, you got the Dallas Stars who have this really young, fiery team, Wyatt Johnson. They got so many weapons up and down that lineup. We saw it with Winnipeg, their depth. If Scheifele gets hurt, they don't have any depth. We saw that. They have to.
They did manage to find a win. And now the interesting thing
Lewis,
is,
though.
Scheifele, Morrissey, and Stanley are all game time decisions tonight. So we don't know if they're playing or not. Now, this was posted about 7 hours ago by the NHL. But it's going to be very difficult for the Stars to prepare because you're really not sure what team you're facing. And I remember, no Scheifele in the lineup, okay, but Nikolai Ehlers is back in the lineup, right?
Which helps, but the problem is
underrated player.
The problem is Ehlers is a winger. I didn't realize how weak Winnipeg was in center until Scheifele got out. And teams have won the Stanley Cup before. Aussies, in my opinion, have 1, 2, 3 deep centermen. And I think Winnipeg's kind of missing for second center. Like, they have Lowry's one of the best third-line centers in the league, in my opinion. And I don't know. But maybe I'm wrong, Maybe they can do it. I hope they can.
Now, mind you, for Dallas, from what I'm seeing here, Robertson and Heiskanen are also both game time decisions. We really don't know what either team's lineup is going to look like tonight between those two teams.
Is it still
Scheifele playing?
Say that again, Lane.
Sorry, it's still game time decision for Heiskanen and Robertson?
From what I'm seeing, yes.
Okay, I thought I heard it was more than 90%.
Like, it's more than likely they will play, but you
Right.
also have to prepare as if they're not.
Got it.
On Daily Face Off, again, great website. It's where I really get all the lines.
Yeah.
They have Jason Robertson as a game time decision at the moment.
Oh, wow.
And they don't have Heiskanen in the lineup at the moment. Now, that doesn't mean he won't
Ooh.
play. Because right now they have Jason Robertson, but down on the third line, which is playing with Wyatt Johnson and Mason Marchment.
What a third line.
Oh, Dallas has got. Like the Stars are probably the deepest team in the playoffs right now. Like when you look at their roster, right? And so, by the way, when there's an exclamation mark like this, that means game time decision.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm looking here on as of 1 hour ago from the hockey news. Says Scheifele should most likely is in, so 90% likely.
Oh,
Looks like
interesting.
Heiskanen is going to miss, but looks like Jason Robertson will be played on the third line with Wyatt Johnson and Mason Marchment. Just looked it up recently. Just see if I could get a more as of last minute
Go
update.
Leafs, go. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, right? Like what's going down there. Like, and thanks, Elaine, for checking out on the hockey news. So it sounds like I'm surprised about Mark Scheifele.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not. I feel like they need him.
Coming up, we can't see Craig's beautiful face, but Craig, I swear you have a face.
I feel like they need him though. This is what I was kind of trying to say. Like they need Mark Scheifele. Like I just don't think they can compete with this Dallas team. Like they almost look like a Florida when you look. They got 3 lines that can go out there and fire at will on you. And I feel like St. Louis, they were great, but they didn't have 3 lines that could hurt you as way as Dallas does.
I do agree with you there, Lane. Like the Dallas Stars, like I arguably the deepest team in the NHL going into these playoffs. And if Scheifele's back, the Jets have a deep roster as well.
They do, yeah.
Kyle Connor's been killing it these playoffs. He's got 12 points, tied to Mikko Rantanen for the 2 biggest points guys coming into this series. The only difference is Mikko Rantanen got most of his points in 2 games. Connor's been consistently putting up numbers. But if Scheifele's back, when you go Scheifele, Nemestikov, Lowry as your 1, 2, 3 down the middle, then you keep saying the team needs 3 good centers down the middle. I think those are 3 good centers down the middle.
I think Nisnikov, hopefully I'm saying that name correctly, it's a little weak as a center line center.
I mean, he got one of the biggest goals in that Game 7.
Well, that's true. He did, right? So, prove me wrong, right? People have a step up in big moments, and so far he has, right? So maybe this is a clear defining playoffs for him. Maybe he'll become that dominant second line center.
He's the big reason why they pulled within 1 because he got that really nice goal there, I think, with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, and that was the goal when you started to believe, right?
Yeah, literally.
Bob is an underrated player. I've watched more Jets games than Dan has because Dan's too busy soaking up the sun in our gazebo. But I like.
I watch it on the phone.
I like this Jets team a lot. I think they're a better team than what they get credit for. And they show too the depth at defense is better than what anyone gave it credit. I think Neil. If he keeps this playoff up, he's got to be considered for Team USA for the Olympics.
Oh, 100%.
Good. When Luke Shen is your 6th defenseman, you have a very good defensive squad.
Would you say Winnipeg's got a better defense than Dallas?
No.
I would.
No.
Let's compare.
What do you think, Chazzy?
Winnipeg
or Dallas? Who has a better defense?
Oh, I think Dallas.
Yeah.
So
I
here's
think Winnipeg.
Winnipeg's defense. Now, mind you, this is with Josh Morrissey not in the lineup. I don't think he's going to play tonight.
Yeah,
that's tough.
But you got Sandberg and Pionk, Fleury and DeMello, Miller and Shen. That's still a pretty darn good defensive group.
Good.
Really good.
Well, Josh Morrissey, I think, is one of the most underrated defensemen in the NHL. He doesn't get that credit a lot of these other guys do.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But that's a very good defensive group in Winnipeg. Now, this is awkward to look at the defense for Dallas here because they're not showing Heiskanen.
If he's out, I mean, that's huge. But
if Hiskinen's in, then I believe it'd be Heiskanen, Harley, Lyubushkin, CC, Lindell, Petrovic.
Boy, CC and Lyubushkin's a pretty good set-down pair. We're both former Leaf defensemen, and everyone was all over CC. I thought CC played pretty well as a Leaf. I really did. And Lyubushkin, they got him twice at the trade deadline. I love Lyubushkin. He's so underrated.
And a good point to remember, fellas, if everyone remembers going back to the Four Nations, when Josh Morrissey was hurt, poor Thomas Harley was put in that position to say,
that's right.
And Canada as a country lost their minds and were like, oh no, we have Thomas Harley in the lineup. We're going to lose. And what happened? He was one of the most impactful defensemen on Team Canada.
True that.
Thomas
Yeah.
Harley is a goat.
He is, yeah. He just
Dan
came
is
out
so
of
hungry
nowhere.
to see his name
Someone
again.
Alexis playing or something?
Someone's getting a phone call. Probably Dags. He's Mr.
Oh.
Popular.
I was like,
Eat his
I thought
own
I heard
name.
music. I'm like, is that my
He gets
Alexa?
phone calls from all the pretty ladies. But
Sorry.
no. You are good. I was
I
confused
thought
as
that was
well.
my radio or something. I'm like, oh
Dan
no.
probably did put his phone on silent again. So
Boy, it is outside. It just vibrated, bro. It didn't make noise.
Bring it off the hook.
we don't want to think about Dan and vibrating. But who are we taking tonight? The Stars or the Jets?
I'm taking for Jets.
So Dan's taking the Jets.
I see my buddy Tony here is watching us. He is from Winnipeg. I know he'll be rooting for the Jets. I'm thinking his hometown, so I'm gonna go with the Jets here.
Lane, you're taking the Stars.
Yeah, based on their offense. I really did think Heiskanen was playing, but I'm still taking Stars.
Craig, who are you taking? Or Chazman, the Chazinator. The Chazinator 3.0.
Tonight I'm going to take the Jets to see if they can feed off that whiteout momentum. If they do not, I'd be very concerned of the rest of the rest of the
It's gonna be
series.
tough.
Yeah, the Jets, in my opinion, the Jets will win tonight.
They
If
need
don't win
tonight.
As dumb as this might sound, they will lose the series if they don't win tonight.
They need
I
tonight.
think you gotta that crowd in Winnipeg. If you don't get energized by that, you're not going to get energized.
Absolutely.
So whoever's watching and whoever agrees with the
Dan,
three of
stop
us.
eating your name.
Oh, it's good, bro. Yum.
Come back. Lean away from the camera. There you go. Now you don't look so intimidated.
Oh, because I'm so comfy, right? With my buds here. You know? So whoever agrees, right, with the three of us thinking Winnipeg or agrees with Dashing Dasco and Dallas, join us on the Streakers app and challenge us and see who wins. See who gets the coins.
Points. But
Points, my bad. Points.
now let's flip to the game that starts in about 10 to 15 minutes because you know they're going to do the anthems and it's going to take you in 16 minutes to drop the puck.
Hey, our buddy Connor's watching.
Let's go. Oh, so we know Connor is taking the lead.
Yeah.
Smart man, great real estate agent, also has luscious hair. Now,
Oh, yes.
He doesn't need to go for the haircut, that's for sure.
he doesn't get that $12 haircut. But
Oh, no, he gets high ass and lot stuff.
But okay, who are you taking? What up, Connor? And
What's
who
up,
are you
Connor?
taking
What up, boys?
for the Leafs versus the Panthers tonight? I am sticking with Toronto, and I am feeding the legendary Curtis Joseph's energy to Joseph.
Whoa.
He is going to play a legendary game, as Barney Stinson would say off of How I Met Your Mother. Legend, wait for it, dairy. And the Leafs are going to get it done tonight.
That jersey's even signed.
It is an autograph Cujo jersey.
That's right.
All right, so Lane, who are you taking? Are you taking the Leafs or are you taking the Panthers?
Can you come to me last? I have a good
I will come to
closing
you
argument.
last. Save Dashing Dashko for last. And
No,
Connor,
I have a good closing segment here.
I think Willie's going to have another big game.
I do too. I picked him to
Playoff
score a goal.
Nylander
Let's go.
versus regular season Nylander are two very, very different players. I saw one person comparing him to Kobe Bryant. I'm like, well, no, it's not that different. But he is a different beast when it comes to the playoffs. When
100%.
William Nylander decides to back check, you know it's playoff time.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hopefully he forgets his key fob again.
for anyone who doesn't know what Dan's referencing, apparently Nylander got to the rink for game one and left his key fob at home, but smiled and says he does it all the time.
Man, he's
Right.
having some weird luck this playoff.
Maybe someone stole it on the subway because he
Forgot
takes the
his
subway to
keys,
the game.
wasn't put in the lineup.
Chazzy, who are you taking tonight, though? Are you taking Willie Stiles and the Leafs, or are you taking the biggest crybaby in the NHL, Kachuk and the Panthers?
Tonight I'm going to take the biggest crybaby. No, I'm going to take the Panthers. I think the Panthers, with Kachuk's sort of mindset and leadership, this team's going to be ready. If the Leafs can slow them down, then good on you guys and celebrate. But it's going to be tough. So I'm going to take Panthers.
All right, Dan?
I'm taking for the Leafs. And I think it's going to be a very physical game. It's important for Toronto to keep their mindset and focus on winning the game, not focus on beating up Bennett. But at the same time, someone's got to step it up because it's a big series. And someone's got to... You know I'm white, Will.
No. Don't even think about the Sam Bennett situation. I love Scott Lawton's quote when they had the reporters, what do you want to do for Anthony Stolarz? And he just said, win, and just stared at the camera. That's all the Leafs need to be focusing on. I think, Dan, if they take your approach, thinking they got to respond, they're going to get ran out of the building tonight.
Put Weevil back in the lineup. Let's go.
Oh, no. I already set them the power of Cujo. They don't need Ryan Reeves to fall while he's skating and lose his stick and have 2 fights in 80 games.
35 games, but okay.
Whatever. Mr. Calculator.
Calculator.
But, Lane, who are you taking tonight? Are you taking the Leafs or the Panthers?
So, boys, this is why I wanted to be last, because I am telling you, this is going off what Dan said. I am 100% telling you, if the Leafs think they're going to come into this game and feed off of this, oh, we're going to get them back, we're going to hit them harder, we're going to take them. You're right, Jacob. I think they will get blown out 8-0. The jerseys will get thrown. I think it will absolutely dismantle them if they think they're going to come into this game and be the big bully and be like, we're going to push them around. That's going to be 8-0. If, however, the Leafs come into this game for the first time, don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the media. Listen to Craig Berube, who said, focus, forget about the past, forget about game 1, forget about the elbow, focus on tonight. Remember what we did in periods 1 and periods 2. Period 3, forget about it. That was Stolarz falling down, getting collapsed, taking to this. We don't worry about that. We won that game. Focus on what we did. The first period, second period. Score fast, play as a team. The Leafs will win tonight, but they have to have that mentality. They can't worry about their boys. They can't try to edge back because that's what Florida wants them to do. Florida wants them to get back and take stupid penalties and hope Domi goes in there and elbows the guy at the first 2 minutes or takes an early fight and tries to get the momentum. No, they can't think about that. They got to just get past Bobrovsky, score the goals, get the lead, play decent defense, and they will win tonight.
Wow.
But they have to play like that.
You could not have said that any better. Because if the Leafs, we saw this in the past under Shout and Keefe when they would try to go hit for hit with the Boston Bruins.
Didn't work.
The Leafs aren't built that way. If you look at game 1, the Panthers apparently out-hit the Leafs 2-1. But it didn't feel that way. The
Leafs hits were big, though.
Needed to be, but played their game, played their style of speed and rolling 4 lines and defensive structure. The Leafs block shots more than any other team in the league. If they start worrying about beating the other guy up and elbowing Bennett in the head, and Marner tries to get back at Tkachuk for what Tkachuk did at the end of the game. I don't know if you boys saw that.
Yeah.
Last second in the game, Tkachuk started slashing and hacking and trying to fight Mitch Marner. That's why I'm going to go on a little tangent here quickly. That's why I cannot stand Tkachuk. You know what? If you want to do that to Max Domi, who will actually fight back, fine. But to do it against Mitch Marner, oh, I'm a big tough guy. I'm going to beat up Mitch Marner. Yeah. No. You're a clown.
Well, he missed, too.
As Nas would say, you're a clown, a bully, you stand. What are you, 52 in the karate class? Anyone who knows Ether, brilliant track. But I edited it a little bit there. But that's not the point. That's why I don't like Tkachuk. There are plenty of big boys on the Leafs he could have went after if he wanted to start something. But to go after Mitch Marner, like, I'm sorry, but the guy's probably one of the least, if there's an award for least likely to get into a fight, I would pick Craig Berube to get into a fight before Mitch Marner. It's not happening. I don't know. That is my biggest pet peeve with Tkachuk. And I saw that a hilarious meme, and I wish I saved it. Could have put it up on the screen. I shared it with some of the boys, though. And it's like, due to Sam Bennett's elbow to the head, Nazem Kadri has been suspended 5 games.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
His interesting fact, I don't know if you guys knew this. Did you know since Parles has became the head of player safety, the Leafs have the most games suspended out of any team in the NHL?
He's just mad because a
team that apparently
on him.
does not play physical, a team that does not play hard, and a team that is apparently soft.
He's just mad because every time they face the Leafs, they probably creamed his teammate too.
I don't know, but I think we're going to have a very interesting game. I think we got 2 really good games on the docket tonight.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say there. I think both of these games will either be really close or one team's going to blow the doors off the other one. I don't think you're going to see like a 5-2 kind of thing.
No.
If the Leafs win, I think it'll be a close game because even if they go up early, I don't think Florida will go away quietly.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
And for the Stars Jets game, it's really going to depend. Hopefully the Jets got re-energized and ate lots of bananas and they're ready to go. Because you know what? They had a tough series against the Blues. But you could make the same argument for the Stars. They had a tough series against the Avs.
Oh, yeah.
Which Nathan McKinnon has confirmed, by the way, he's going to play for Team Canada.
Yay!
Wow.
So big news there.
Nice.
But
I guess he's trying to get Crosby to come to the Abs next season.
we can
He's
talk about
trying.
that for a couple minutes. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think Crosby's going back to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love him to either go to Colorado and Nova Scotia boys. Think of the legendary TV commercial, so Timmy's, if Crosby and McKinnon played with each other all year, okay? It would be amazing. Nova Scotia boys, maybe that's a missing piece Colorado needs to win the Stanley Cup. And I talk about the 1-2-3 sentiments. Imagine the 1-2 is Crosby and McKinnon. Holy moly. Oh, the other thing, keep Mr. Chazzy happy, to see Crosby in Montreal. You know, it was his hero team growing up as a kid. Let him retire playing as a Canadian, right? I don't know because I've always said Crosby never leave Pittsburgh. But after that really weird interview with, I call him Doofus, sorry to be whatever, but it's true. After a weird interview with Dubas saying, I had to talk to Chris Sidney Crosby and he didn't want to fire the coach and 7 players liked the coach, 7 players didn't like the coach, and 7 players were mediocre about the coach, but fired the coach anyway. What? Like, if you don't care about Crosby's opinion, arguably the best two-way player in NHL history, then why ask him? So I think Crosby could be a little put off, and he's looking to do changes himself. That's why he asked Fleury to come join him in Team Canada. Maybe Fleury comes out of retirement and finishes his career in Pittsburgh. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Okay,
Or maybe Crosby just leaves Pittsburgh.
Jacob, we need the circus book.
No! I'm right here! We got so mad at Floyd, my cup blow! Oh, no, not both! I'm right! You know
Fleury
I'm
coming out of
right!
retirement. I was with you for a little bit, but Fleury coming back, I was like, we
I
definitely
will
need the
say
circus
Dan's
book.
going to save this conversation somewhere. And if Fleury ends up coming out of retirement, he's going to beat me up with both those books. But remember, if you like conversations like this, to make sure to tune into our pre-recorded episodes of the Streakers On podcast every Tuesday and Thursday. And stay locked in with us because our summer schedule will be coming out soon, which we are going to see a bit of a change once the Canadian Football League gets started. And you know what, Lane? Even though you're a Ticats fan, which just makes you correct, the legendary Ricky Ray would be very disappointed in you, but that's okay. We love you anyways. As DJ Khaled says, I need you, I love you, and I respect you. But it's time we sign off. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching the Streakers Island podcast live edition. Remember, we go live more than pretty much anybody else. So, I'm Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst. Crazy Hat Dude is Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
Streakers Hat Dude is Chazzy, the CEO. And, of course, our special guest, Lane Dashing Dashko. But thanks very much, everyone, for joining. And we will see you tomorrow for our pre-recorded episode, which will have everything on what happened with the Leafs, what went on with the Jets versus Stars, what's going on with Hockey Canada, and so much more.
Bye-bye!
Enjoy the games.